What's going on? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game number 3 here between Mouse's Hasu and EG's PuMa. This time we are here on the Shatter Temple. We've got PuMa spawning in the 3 o'clock position here as our red Terran player, and then way over here in the 9 o'clock is Hasu, the blue Protoss player. So yes, this is game number 3 here, this time on Shatter Temple. We did see PuMa winning game number 1, Hasu winning game number 2. Interesting games for those first 2, and I will be very interested to see how this one plays out as well. As we can see, they are cross-positional as opposed to possibly having a close air distance position spawn. The reason I do mention this is because a lot of times, if you are in that close air distance, you will see drop harass, and you tend to see a little bit more aggressive games. But given the fact that they are cross-positional, we may very well be seeing a more macro-focused game. And I mean, in all honesty, Games 1 and 2 were fairly macro-focused as well. Yes, we saw some timing pushes from PuMa both games, but he was still focused on his macro. Just because you play aggressively doesn't mean you're going cheesy or all-in-y, and that's certainly not what PuMa was doing. He just decided to go for aggressive timing pushes in addition to his macro-style focus. We can see now PuMa just not getting his refinery yet, and we'll actually be seeing in just one moment if he will be going for that 13 gas, 12 racks just coming up right now. Don't even know why I mentioned that. I just certainly was not paying attention. Almost nobody goes refinery first unless you're going for a very fast factory, like some sort of a strong Hellion open build. But clearly that is not something that PuMa is doing. Again, I'm silly. All right, so we have Hasu right now scouting down in the 6 o'clock position. He will then be moving over into the 3 o'clock, at which point he will be scouting out PuMa's base. We can see that refinery has come through, so it did look like a 12 racks and 13 refinery from PuMa. That is what we're going to consider a standard style opener. A little bit perplexed though, because in those first 2 games we did see the 1 racks expands, and it looks like he may be deviating from that a little bit. He may also just be attempting to come up with this refinery first, given the fact that he expects Hasu to scout him out before he gets that depot down, and actually you can see not even bothering trying to go for that full wall off, and he is just going normally here, coming out with that first Marine, then getting the orbital. He will be finishing that wall in just one moment. Once that Marine is out, he will, of course, be able to take care of the probe inside of his base. But until then, he's just going to have to deal with the scouting. And there we go. Marine is now popping. He has finished that wall off as well. That's going to keep the probe in his base. And I wonder if we're going to be seeing Hasu try to gas steal or something like that. He realizes now at this point that, you know, the probe is gone. There's nothing he can do to keep this probe alive. The Marine will be taking him out. He can delay it as much as he wants, but he is trapped in the base. And again, there's absolutely nothing he can do. We have a quick tech lab coming out. A couple things we're considering here. Maybe opening up fast Marauders for some aggression, or he could very well be opening up a quick Reaper play into expand. We saw some very quick, oh nope, not going to be the case. Look at this factory proxy over here. Now is Hasu going to see this? He doesn't know about it. He doesn't see it, and this is unreal. We're going to be seeing a very strong early game push here from PuMa, completely negating what I said early on about the possibility of a macro-focused game. PuMa is going very, very, very strong aggression here with this proxy factory. Wow, this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what ends up taking place. I do like to see this every once in a while, mixing it up with some very strong early game aggression, and that's exactly what's happening now. It does appear like Hasu will be going 1 gate expand, and this is a cause for concern, most certainly. And actually, he doesn't have full saturation over there, just going with 2 at each assimilator, so he's not going full gas saturation. This is to allow him to come out with that quick expo, and I'm a wee bit concerned. I have to be honest with you guys. Factory is now finished here for PuMa. PuMa coming out with a few more Marauders. He's got a couple guys hiding right over here in this position. Stalker checking the center of the map, and here comes the factory landing itself right in the main. However, he is right next to that pylon. Beautiful position there from Hasu, allows him to see this. We will be seeing some Hellions come out, though, and it really doesn't matter right now if Hasu can spot this, because here comes the rest of the aggression as well, moving out across the map with some Marines and Marauders, and he is coming out with an expansion, but again, he just really likes this early game aggression to coincide with his expands. One way or the other, we're seeing PuMa just come out with some very aggressive play. Now, here comes that Hellion, and he's not going to be able to kill the factory by the time that second Hellion even comes out, so we're going to be seeing some attempted econ micro-harass at the same time. We got a push coming down with a bunker at the front there, and the Hellion will be taken care of relatively quickly. He has managed to get 1 kill so far, but that looks like it's going to be it. We've got that second Hellion in production right now, and this expansion, it might get forced to cancel, because we did see Hasu was forced to deal with the Hellion inside of his main. He's not going to be able to stop this bunker from coming up, and Hasu will in fact be losing this expansion, and this is a huge cause for concern right now. Just enough vision to take that guy out, and beautiful couple Marauders in the bunker. Hasu just canceling that expansion. So devastating. Another Hellion here in the mix. Not sure if he got any kills. Looks like he did manage to get some. PuMa sitting with a total of 3 worker kills so far this game. And this is just absolutely unreal. This aggression here from PuMa delaying Hasu's expansion. It's got to be so frustrating for him. Now, it does look like Hasu's going to have enough to actually deal with this aggression that's at the front of his base. But the fact that he lost that expansion is pretty devastating. Now, we should be seeing, are we seeing a bunker up here? There it is. PuMa wants to make sure that he can defend against the very probable counterattack that will be coming from Hasu. Hasu should be mounting up a couple of forces there and pushing out. And actually, PuMa lifting off that factory. Will he try to re-land it in the main? That'd be hilarious. He could sit it right here, and I don't think Hasu would even see it. There's a little bit of space that he might have been able to eke through with. He is pushing it all the way back over here, though, so just kind of sitting right over there for now. Won't be using that factory quite as of yet. Got some medevacs coming into play, just one out of that starport right now. A few more bio units left with that bunker. He should have enough if he just gets some repairs here. Hasu really shouldn't have the forces to be able to break through that, to be perfectly honest with you. I just do not think he's going to be able to completely break that. And yeah, actually, we can see him just pushing back. He realizes, crap, nothing I can really do right now. So no point in even bothering. And actually, a few SCVs preemptively pulled down there for PuMa to prepare to repair that if necessary. But we can see him finally coming out with some more barracks here inside of his main, and he's got continuous production here of these medevacs as well. So it's going to be at least another moment or two before he can actually move down into that expansion. He just needs the forces necessary, and then he will be forced to actually come down with some bunkers, because the threat of a push from Hasu is still very, very real. Factory Scout now moving up for PuMa, and looks like he won't be able to get into a proper spot there, and is forced to push back right now as those stalkers attempt to shoot it out of the sky, and they may very well get it to burning before it makes it away, and that could be a problem. He just will end up losing this factory, and yes, it is. It's going to be a goner there. Nothing that PuMa can do about that, but you know what? I don't think he's really all that concerned, because he doesn't really need that factory for anything. The only thing would be later in the game, if he wants to continue up that bio upgrade from his engineering bay, he will have to get out an armory, and for that, he does need a factory. So that might come into play at some point, but that won't be till much later. I expect him to just work up his bio here, and it looks like actually we'll be seeing a drop here from PuMa. Again, PuMa loving the aggressive playstyle here. Do have an SCV scout moving out across the map. Just wants to get a little bit of vision as to what's going on. We do have the Zelnaga tower there controlled by Hasu, so he sees that SCV, and they're just kind of chilling out next to it, though. He's like, hey, guys, what's up? Nothing, not much. And actually pulling back right now, the SCV, I don't know what it was, maybe a sixth sense that he realized those stalkers were coming, decided to pull back. We do have an observer scout moving on up inside of PuMa's main. We'll be getting a full scout of everything that's going on. He sees the 3 racks over here. We've got that 4th racks, and then, of course, we've got that reactor being built over here on the starport. A couple of units pushing across the center. This will be a kind of a distraction technique as he works his way forward with this drop. Hopefully he doesn't walk right over that pylon. I'm really concerned that that's about to happen, and yes, it is. Walking right over the pylon, maybe just going for that pylon kill and then lifting off, and actually it looks like that is what's happening. So stemming up a couple of those marauders, killing off the pylon, and then that's about it. He's actually will be moving up into the main and trying to do a little bit more damage. Very nice, very, very nice indeed, because Hasu is a little bit a ways here, so he's going to be able to get a few more worker kills before he lifts off and then decides to pull back, and there we go. No problemo there for PuMa, getting a few free kills and then just pulling back to safety. Gonna be lifting up a few guys over there as well. In fact, we've got this medevac. It's still here. He hasn't left the base yet. He's prepared to do some more aggression at some point in the future. That's hilarious, really. 9 workers killed so far total for PuMa this game. Another medevac over here, getting ready to drop on the natural expansion. So I expect probably a dual-pronged attack. We're going to have PuMa here hitting up in the main and then dropping on that natural probably at the exact same time. So here comes the push right now. This medevac still sitting idly right now. Too many forces, though, for PuMa to actually effectively go through with that drop, so he is forced back. This medevac over here, still idle, hasn't come into play yet. He's holding on to that just for a moment. More bio units being worked up right now. We got level 1 upgrades coming out over here for PuMa, just continuing up that bio production. Also, some more medevacs will be coming out as well. And again, he does have that natural nice and saturated, but not a whole lot going on besides that. We can see actually finally working his way to try to come out with that 3rd expansion. He will be moving out with that sometime soon, getting rid of these destructible rocks there. And once that finishes, we'll be seeing the lift off and working his way over there. Now, the unit composition of choice over here for Hasu, it appears to be Colossus. He'll be going gateway heavy, plus those Colossus. Getting another observer out, wants to keep up that scouting, trying to keep eyes as to exactly what's going on all over the map. We also have Hasu right now preparing to move into a 3rd of his own. So besides that early aggression, from this point forward, both players have just been going for their macro style of play. Level 1 upgrades about to finish right now for PuMa, so he's going to have those level 1 weapon upgrades for his ground units. For Hasu, PuMa just now finishing those level 1 upgrades for his weapons, and also has the level 1 armor upgrades coming out. We do have a Viking transition as well coming out for PuMa. That's going to allow him, of course, to deal with those Colossus. So yes, both players just macroing up right now and not a whole lot else. Now, as we can see, they are actually about even in terms of resources lost. Now, the biggest thing, though, is the fact that PuMa was able to delay that initial expansion was certainly pretty huge for him. And we're going to have PuMa actually dropping over here, trying to force the cancel of this expo. If nothing else, he's going to be able to get a bunch of damage down on it. And that's going to make it so that, whoa, he forces the cancel again. PuMa, unreal here. We're going to see the forces of Hasu pull back to respond. And at the exact same time, we're going to be seeing another drop over here. We do have those 2 medevacs. And again, I'm just waiting for PuMa to pull these into play. Does need to be careful, though. We got a lot of stalkers, and they may actually snipe one of those medevacs as they try to move in if PuMa isn't paying enough attention. There we go, though, skirting along the edge, spotting those stalkers. However, Hasu is prepared. Seeing those guys prepared to push in, he was able to move with the stalkers and prevent them from actually being able to get up close enough to drop his bio units down. PuMa now up at that 3rd expansion, and again, PuMa has been doing just a fantastic job of delaying these expos and really hurting Hasu economically, and he's going to take that, I don't know, he could very well take that to the win here, because those are pretty devastating losses when you end up losing those expos, when you're forced to cancel them, even if it's just by a moment or two. Now here we go, the drop is going to take place right now. Does have enough to tear through those stalkers, however the additional warp-ins here of Zealots should actually prove enough to deal with these Marauders. We'll be microing away, though, from the Zealots, killing off the stalkers, and this is going to allow him to just do a little bit more damage. We're going to see what he decides to go for. Looks like he just wants to kill off a few more of these Zealots. A very nice micro there by PuMa. Pretty impressive indeed. Managed to kill off all those stalkers and getting a few of these Zealot kills in here as well. Zealot's finally able to catch up as PuMa decides, hey, I'm all done microing. Time to pay attention to something else. We do have Storm coming out right now for Hasu. He will be working his way up into High Templar. Also the armor level 2 upgrades. Now what do we have for upgrades going over here? We've got armor and weapons level 2 coming out for PuMa. He is now 1-1. He's got a couple Ghost in the mix to land some EMPs and some snipes. We also have a lot of Vikings to deal with those Colossus. So pretty much standard composition here from both players. It's just all going to come down to that one engagement, or maybe there'll be more than one, but it will come down to an engagement and basically determining who's able to micro better and who is able to, land those EMPs or land those storms and feedbacks. Whoever is more effective in doing these things will be the winner of that large engagement. That could very well determine the winner of the game. Again, so far PuMa is certainly ahead in all the amount of damage that he's been managing to do against Hasu. But you really never know. With some properly placed storms and feedbacks, and if he's able to keep those Colossus alive, Hasu could certainly win this game, even though he is a little bit behind so far. In terms of upgrades, again, we can see 1-1 right now for Hasu, and we will be having 1-1 coming out for PuMa. So they're about even right now in terms of upgrades, although it looks like PuMa will be having 2-2 before Hasu, because he does not have those weapon level 2 upgrades coming at all, but he will just be getting those armor. We've got Blink Research coming out. Storm has finished as well. Do have a Factory Scout moving on through, trying to get some more information. Again, both players just on their thirds and just macroing up, and that is it. That's the name of the game right now. Besides that early game aggression we saw from PuMa, there's been pretty much nothing else in the middle stages of the game. We do have Hasu now preparing to move out across the map as both players work their way up until 200 of 200 supply. They're going to be preparing for that big engagement. Going to be seeing a spread of units. We've got the Ghost over here. They, of course, want to be in the front to land those EMPs, to land those snipes whenever this engagement does go through. And we're also going to see those Vikings try to swing in from an alternate angle. Now, as we can see now, high yield expansion being taken over here from Hasu. And we do have PuMa prepared to move into the high yield as well. And my gosh, it's just such a tense moment. We're just waiting for the engagement. It's like the calm before the storm is exactly what it is right now. We're just waiting for that engagement to come through whenever that does eventually end up happening. Looks like we have some attempted medevac harass over here. I'm not sure how much damage he is going to be able to do with this. Looks like he might be actually forcing the cancel of that. No, not target firing down. Forced to push back. Gets sniped down, though, from those stalkers. And here we go, PuMa moving up to the center of the map, and this is when things get more tense because both players want to protect the center so that they can protect their high yield expansions. And this is, again, the situation is going to get a lot more tense here as this starts to happen. We do have an observer scout moving on forward. We do have also a sensor tower coming out. Really like that. At first I thought that was a missile turret, but no, it is in fact a sensor tower. This will of course allow PuMa to see whenever Hasu pushes up against the fringe here, he's going to be fully aware of any pushes that go kind of within the proximity there of that tower, and that will allow him to respond accordingly. But yes, just macro from both players. Really want to see some action come down. We're going to see lots more gateways coming out here for PuMa, for Hasu. That's going to allow him to quickly reinforce whenever an engagement does come through. 3-3 upgrades also coming out right now for PuMa. Hasu, oh my gosh, moving on forward. He needs to be very careful. One concern now is some cloaked ghosts moving forward to land EMPs, and actually with that scan, PuMa feeling pretty confident to push forward to the center of the map now. And it looks like PuMa is prepared for that engagement, dropping a scan, taking down the observer in the center of the map. We do have Hasu pulling back right now. He's going to be spreading out his High Templar because he wants to make sure that even if he gets EMP'd and sniped, that he will be all set to land some more with guys in reserve. And sniping down one Colossus very quickly. Again, a second Colossus very low. Some clutch EMPs go down. We did see a couple of feedbacks as well. No Storm going down from that High Templar. That's unfortunate. We've got a couple more High Templar in the back preparing to push forward. And here we go. This engagement is about to take place right now. We're going to have the Ghost move forward. We got a nice feedback that went down. We're going to see some clutch EMPs sometime very soon, and there they are. EMPs landing on the bulk of the army. Unbelievable EMPs. Big storm going down. Big stim going down, and this is going to allow PuMa to tear through Hasu's forces. There are no more Colossus in play, and PuMa should be able to take out this expansion. We've got some storms going down. Very nice there from Hasu, doing some damage to PuMa's forces. However, we're going to be seeing PuMa try to spread out as much as possible. He's still got a bit of bio left. We'll be taking out that high yield expansion. Another storm going down, some feedbacks going down on the medevac as well. Hasu doing what he can to stay in this game, but he is losing this expo here. He might have enough blink stalkers. We got those Vikings landed on the ground. Couple of zealots will be moving forward to try to assist as well. Those 3-3 upgrades almost finished right now for PuMa, and PuMa is getting ready now to move into this additional expansion. Looks like he'll be forcing a cancel over here. So here comes the bio right now, forcing that cancel, and Hasu is going to be suffering economically. We can take a look here. PuMa does have that lead in terms of Vespine. He's got trying to get a little bit of a lead. He is slightly behind in minerals right now, but as he gets saturation on that high yield expansion, that should start to work in his favor. We've got an attempted counter push right now prepared for Hasu, but is it going to be much at all? A couple of medevacs being lifted up over here for PuMa. They will be attempting a drop, and it looks like this is something that Hasu is aware of as he moves up and tries to deal with this. These medevacs are a little bit out of the range though, and actually dropping them for fear of those blink stalkers. We're going to have those bio pushed down to engage. Charged zealots will be swooping up against that bio very quickly. Want to take a quick look here at the resources lost. It looks like, as expected, Hasu is a bit behind, but he isn't terribly far behind. The biggest thing is just losing those expansions, and that's really been the biggest thing all game here, is that PuMa has just been all over those expansions, and slowly but surely that's how you get yourself a lead, is by delaying the expansions and stopping the expansions of your opponents. So even if you're about even in terms of resources lost, the fact that the economy is worse for your opponent puts you in a very strong position. Vikings moving across the map, and they'll actually be going straight into the main, maybe doing some Colossus sniping, possibly even trying to land to get a few free kills. That one Colossus there looking very vulnerable to the Vikings that are incoming very, very shortly. We've got Hasu rebuilding his forces here and also trying to get a couple of cannons there to defend against that high yield expansion once that does get back up and running. PuMa does appear to be prepared right now for another engagement. He's pushing forward towards the center of the map. There are those Vikings. Did that one Colossus get taken out? I would not be too surprised if that happened. Didn't actually end up spotting it though. But here we go. PuMa moving across the center of the map, dropping some scans to try to scout the army and also see if he can catch any observers at all. PuMa will be moving up into this position. Just a couple of cannons to contend with, but that is not all too much. And here we go. Looks like another engagement is about to take place right now. Hasu being very careful about how and where he engages. Nice EMP there from PuMa. Absolutely beautiful. Vikings pushing down to prepare to engage with those Colossus. At the same time, we've got a drop going on over here at the high yield. That is going to force Hasu to move down to engage, and as a result, we've seen some EMPs there from those ghosts prepared, stimming up, moving straight in, and here we go. Another EMP. We aren't seeing any storms at all, and PuMa's bio will quickly and easily take care of the rest of what Hasu has, And it looks like, again, Hasu will be losing that high yield expansion. And there it is, guys, the GG. Another great macro game here with some aggression tossed in the mix in game number 3. Looks like PuMa did come out victorious. Game number 4 coming up in just one moment. As always, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.